Welcome to the show. This is another session. Today we have Sergio and his partner, Jonathan. We're here in Dallas, Texas at Brad Sumrock's Multifamily event. One of our biggest mentors, definitely has helped me get to where I'm at right now, and super inspired to, meet other people in the industry. There's a couple hundred people here. There used to be thousands of people here, and now there's 200. So there's a lot going on in the market. We'll touch on that. And thanks for coming on. Also here with Marin, my business partner, one of the many. And so super excited to have you guys. Thanks for coming.
Appreciate the invite, man. We're excited to be here.
I know this was a quick invite too.
Yeah. No, thank you. Thank you for the invite. This is awesome, man. I see that you guys are taking action, just putting the time, the work. That's it. No excuses. Let's go, man. I'm excited.
Same for you guys. Go. You guys are taking massive action. So, how is it? Tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got started in real estate, your journey till now.
Shit, man. For starters, I'm from Dallas, Texas, born and raised. This is my neck of the woods. I wasn't really aware how much money is in my backyard until I got into real estate. I was born in. It's funny because me and Adrian have the same background. We got our construction management degrees. I went to UTA. It really just started with me wanting to take over Dad's company, me wanting to, being the first generation Mexican American. I saw a lot growing up. There was a lot of lack of education in business. We were getting taken advantage of. My dad knew no English. We were just getting cut to the damn dollar on doing work for free damn near. So when people would say, "Oh, you got a family business. You guys have a concrete company. You guys are rich." And I used to always look at them crazy like, man, fuck, I wish I was. I wish, where's the money at? Like, I wish. We're barely making it. We're barely surviving, right? So that inspired me, that motivated me to go to college to get my education, so I can learn business, so I can learn contracts, so I can learn how is it that you run and operate a business, how not to get fucked over, right? Because that's all we ever got fucked over all these years. We've been in business for 20 years. So you would have figured we would have been multimillionaires by now, billionaires, right? But that wasn't the case. So that's what inspired me to get my construction management degree. I got it and graduated 2019. Joined the family business probably 2 years later, a year and a half later, after I worked for corporate America to get some general contracting experience. So I learned how to do interior finish outs here in downtown. I worked on some interior offices.
Nice.
I actually worked for a structural concrete company here in downtown Dallas, where we were building multifamily. I did some podiums, and then we went vertical with stick frame. So I got some experience doing that, and then I just came back, and then I helped my older brother, my sister, pursue the family business. And, I was in the business, right, and I just started kind of getting that itch of, okay, this is cool, I'm a slave. I'm a slave to the industry. I'm an entrepreneur. I work a fuckload of hours, but I'm not really seeing the payoff that I want. I don't know if this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. There's got to be another way to make more money.
Sure.
Picked up a book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, nice. A classic. And from there, I wanted to do duplexes like, Robert Kiyosaki. I wanted to start with duplexes. And as the algorithm in my phone and just the social media, all these events started popping up, a Grant Cardone event. So that was actually my first 10X event that I went to. I went to Miami. I didn't know how to buy a fucking plane ticket. I didn't know how to book a hotel. I literally had to call one of my girlfriends and say, "Hey, girl, I'm going to Miami. I'm going to this hotel for an event. How do I book a plane? This is the date here, and I'm leaving this day. It's over this day. Like, how do I do all this? Because I didn't grow up flying. We were poor, right? We didn't know. I didn't know any of that. So she taught me how to book a flight, a hotel for that weekend. I took off. And I just said, you know what, fuck it. Let me think big for a weekend. Because at the end of the day, I'm still going to buy my duplexes, right? I'm going to be a fucking millionaire just buying 10. My goal was 10, and I'm going to be the fucking richest guy in Dallas. That was my mindset at that time. I fly out, go for the weekend, thought big for the weekend, and that's where I met my partner, Jonathan,
They're at the conference.
At
the
one
conference.
night. Paid off.
Paid off.
At the bar.
Wow.
At the bar, actually.
You're still thinking big?
There you
Oh,
go.
yeah. Big word, man.
Don't let that go, bro.
Right. No, you can't. You can't in life. Now, I was going to say in this game, but you can't in life. So,
100%.
Met Jonathan, and I came back to Dallas. I never bought a single family home. I never bought a fucking duplex. went straight, catapulted into multifamily. So I owned a multifamily property before I even bought a damn single family house.
There you go.
So the rest is history. Here we are today, going on 3 years later, sitting right next to my partner and you guys. So
How many units you got?
fuck,
You guys
John,
have
how
right
much
now?
do we got? Like shy of 2,000?
Yeah, like 2100.
2,100.
I did not know that. Oh, there you go.
Congratulations, bro.
Wow.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
bro.
There you go. 3 years, 2,100.
Yeah.
Coming from, scarcity environment, and our families don't always know how to teach us how to make millions of dollars.
Unfortunately, but
Unfortunately,
you don't know what you don't know.
100%.
But we learn what we do and we come back and we fucking feed the whole village, right?
There you go.
That's
Yeah.
great, bro.
That's beautiful. I didn't know a lot of that about you, man. That's awesome.
I'm glad
There
you all
go.
came.
Yeah.
How about you, Jonathan? How's your story looking like?
Yeah, man. So I moved to this country. I'm originally from Colombia around 7 years ago, and I'm so happy that I have a rough beginning in my journey because my first year, I came with the mindset of every hour I'm sleeping, I'm losing money, because as an engineer in Colombia, I was making like $350 a month, and when I was hired here, I was making $1,600 just with one job. So I was like, can't you imagine now that I have 2 or 3 jobs, I'm gonna be
Rich.
like, rich, So I decided to do that. And then my first year, I saved as much as money as possible. So I invested back in Colombia in a restaurant chain. I lost the money. The guy was not because I was not there, right? So he didn't care. And at the end, he lost the business and I lost the money. So I had the chance to start all over again. So I just came back to work like crazy, 3 jobs, like sleeping, like the whole summer for 4 months, like no days off and things like that. Because at that moment, I thought like, okay, let me work 5 years really hard just to live the rest of my life, relaxing, happy, and enjoying my, the rest of my life, right? So that's what I did. And in my second year, so I did the same. And I decided to buy a couple apartments back in Colombia and then just go back and live from the rent. And then, so what happened is like 11 months sending money. I was sending like most of everything. I was just keeping money for food and rent. And then my mom called me and then she said, hey, John, and she was like really, really mad, furious. I said, what happened? I said, yeah, man, we lost it all. I said, what do you mean? I said, yeah, the company that you just bought the apartment from, they declared bankruptcy. So they're not going to give you any money back. And I'm like, oh, shit, okay, that's good. Okay, again, start, right? But in my mind, I always had the 5-year goal, right? So I was not like, okay, I lost it all. I'm going to go back, whatever. I couldn't figure out this game. And then I just went back again. I started working again, another opportunity, right? And then COVID hit. And it's like from
Another one.
Yeah, my three bosses, they call me and they're like, hey, John, there is no job because I work in a restaurant, in a bar and things like that. So everything was closed. And then they just called me, there is no job. And I'm like, fuck, now that was the first time I felt scared because I didn't know what I was going to do, right? I was just depending on working. But now I have a lot of free time to think and, something that I didn't have before, time to think. And then I always knew real estate is the way to go, right? Just because my grandparents, they own a couple apartments and they live off road and rent. So I want to do the same. So I started educating myself how the investment work here in the U.S. And at the beginning, I thought it was crazy because, a Colombian guy, 2 years living in the U.S. and buying houses. So that doesn't sound real for a lot of people, but I just, fuck it, let's go. And then a month later, so an opportunity came and I had I invest 90% of my savings to buy that house, fix it up and sell it. It took me 2 weeks. And yeah, I doubled my money and I was like, that was an open eyes for me. And that's why I decided to go all in real estate.
Wow.
Awesome.
No, dude, I don't know. I feel like I always hear, okay, we went to an event, we got started, we found some friends, we put some money together. But, that's like the easy way of all this. But you guys have faced some challenges. Some real life challenges that y'all had to overcome and you're still here, and that makes a different type of investor. And so props to that.
For sure, man.
I didn't know y'all's story. And
That's great.
That's awesome.
That's very.
And now you guys, own 2,000 units. Y'all have raised a bunch of millions of dollars, I'm assuming, in order to buy the 2,000 units in Dallas. So that means it's even more expensive, right? So you have to raise more money. And so that's amazing. That's amazing. I'm glad you guys met at, Grant Cardone's conference. What an awesome place to meet a business partner.
Yeah.
I think
Jonathan, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
How did you hear about Grant Cardone? Were you already following him, or how is it that you ended up? I'm just going back to where you guys met. Like, how is it that you ended up in that event?
That's a good question because, after that first house, I started doing it. I said, like, I need to do this more, So I started fixing 2 houses, keeping one, fixing 2 houses, keeping one. So at that point, at some point, I accumulated like 8 properties. And then I felt rich and comfortable again, right? So like, oh wow, now I have some, something to brag around, right? And then my girl, like she was doing from the beginning, like always supporting me even when I was not spending money on her, like nothing, because I was sending all the money back to Colombia, right? And then she just told me like, hey, this is this guy, he's gonna help you to grow. He has a billionaire. You need to start surrounding yourself with different people, because in Wisconsin, I mean, the reality is like there is not much money there, right? So I felt like I was some of the few people that were doing something big there. And then until at some point she was really insistent. And then just to make her happy and shut up, I just decided to, baby, let me go.
Yeah,
I just want to make you happy. I'm tired of listening to you. Like, you should go there, because I thought the guy was scam, like in a scam, right?
Guru.
Like this guru, right?
Mm-hmm. So
I decided to go there. And then that's where I met Sergio. And that was another story after that.
Damn, dude, that's great. I mean, and touching on your wife or your girl, right? She was very persistent in wanting to see you succeed. So that's a very big role that played into how you guys met, right? So
yeah. So I think to touch on that, sometimes other people need to see it in you when you don't see it in yourself. And we have to give shout out to the people that saw more in us than we saw in ourselves looking in the mirror. So let's get more tactical. How about that? Yeah. So tell me about the dynamic between both of y'all, and what your role is and how you guys work together to purchase these 2,000 units. I think that's what people want to know.
That's a hell of a question, because even going a little bit back to how we met, I mean, when I came into this industry, I'm not a numbers guy whatsoever. My personality, I'm an extroverted motherfucker. I got my construction. This is what I know. Even like I said, I'm going to buy 10 duplexes and I'm going to be the richest guy, because I'm not a numbers guy. I don't calculate. At the time, I didn't calculate ROIs. I didn't know what it was going to cost me to get there, how much I was going to have to put down, how was I going to get the money. I just said I was going to do it, right? But I met John. John's actually trained me very well on how to become more of a numbers guy. So that being said, that's how we mesh. We're like so opposite from each other. We're the complete opposite from each other, and I think that's how we fucking mesh really, very well as a partner, as partnerships, right? So I'm more of the construction, asset management, CapEx guy, where that's obviously my background. I got a bachelor's degree in construction management. I've been doing construction my whole life. I got pretty good leadership skills. I'm bilingual, so I can talk to all of our guys. I know how time frames work, scheduling. So that's my superpower as far as how the value I bring to a team. So at the time when we started, I told John, I was like, John, what the fuck do I got to offer, man? I can't raise capital yet. I didn't really
at that time.
At that time. I'm the fucking concrete guy. Who's going to want to invest with the concrete guy, right? I can't raise capital. John, my network ain't high. John, we're fucking broke as hell. I ain't got a mill, John. Like, why are you partnering up with me, And he saw it way
limiting beliefs.
I had that mindset, right? But he saw something very, very much something bigger, and he used to tell me, "Man, you're gonna be the one. You're gonna be the one that's gonna, do this shit here."
That's beautiful.
So I was like, "Damn, you're right. All right, fuck it, let's go. Let's go." So that's basically what I bring to the table, and I'll let John, I'll let him explain what he's got.
Yeah, no, nice.
Yeah, I mean, it took us a little time to figure out roles and responsibilities, right? Because we both start doing the same thing, and that was not taking us anywhere. Just because, I was forcing Sergio to do numbers, right? Or forcing myself to do something that Sergio is good at, right? So it took us a little time to figure it out, but then I saw the skills in Sergio about construction, right? So I still was doing my flips, but I hate it. That's something I didn't like to do, right? Because I was the one putting the time and the work to save some money. So I know the skill of Sergio in construction, and I knew I needed somebody like that, because now we can offer ourselves as a package, to come in a deal where, I can bring my skill set of numbers and he knows the construction side. So that's going to be making us even more powerful, to be part of somebody else's team. And then, something else even at the beginning of our journey, this is funny that, we both knew that we need to do like know it all in some kind of like part of the business, right? Mm-hmm. So we need to call brokers, right? So I told myself like, okay, I know how to speak with brokers. I know how to talk to them, but it makes more sense, to have Sergio calling them, because, a broker probably is not going to be taking me really serious because, my Colombian accent and things like that, right? So I'd rather just to tell Sergio, hey, man, just call them, they know that, with your voice and things like that, they're going to be trusting you more for, and I'm just going to tell you exactly the numbers and what to tell them, what questions to ask. Yeah. And that's how we start building the relationship with brokers. And that was taking us a lot of like a good traction in that way, right? So that was kind of like, a little bit the beginning now about how we started dividing and conquer.
Wow, that's awesome,
great, dude.
I was going to say, you're also you sound like a sales guy too. I feel like you can talk very well to people.
Yeah.
And then behind the scenes, I'm sure you crank those numbers out. I mean, that's good. That's the way me and my partner work too. I'm front end, and he can play front end as well. We can all play every role, but he plays it better in numbers, right? And analyze. He's an engineer. He knows how he can underwrite a deal in 20 minutes. It'll take me a week, or 3-4 days. And, I can do it, but it's going to take me some time.
Correct.
Right. And I do think that, the dynamic that you guys choose and the roles you choose with each other, you still have to know a little bit about, construction, right? I mean, you can't underwrite without knowing a little bit about construction. And so I for those who are listening, don't take your foot off the gas if you find a partner who knows how to underwrite. Like, don't think that you shouldn't underwrite, or at least know how to underwrite, because, me and my partner sit down and he walks me through the calculator. I have to follow along. I have to know. And, I think of things differently, and I provide a different angle of feedback. And he's like, oh, I didn't think of that, so don't take your foot off the gas and expect your partner to be the only one to do that work. Right?
And I want to add to that, just because, and I'm fucking glad he made me do it. He was like, nah, man, I'm up here underwriting at midnight calling his ass. And I'm fucking blessed because he answered my phone calls. I'm calling him and he's with the wife. That's when they have time to kind of hang out, and I'm blowing him up and he's busting out his computer, walking me through underwriting at the very beginning, right? But I'm blessed that he kind of forced me, and I was just kind of roughing it out to learn the basics of underwriting, because at the end of the day, we both raise capital.
Yep.
You got to know what the fuck you're talking about when it comes down to these deals.
100%.
You have to know what you're talking about, because if you're not confident, if you're trying to explain to something, come invest with us. Yeah, I'm the asset manager. I'm CapEx, whatever. And I don't know shit about numbers.
Yeah. How are you modeling your exit?
Exactly.
What's your sensitivity analysis look like? Mm-hmm. I mean, how are you modeling your exit cap? Those are all things that you have to kind of know at least a little bit.
And that's what the investors are going to look into. Like, that's the questions that our investors are going to really ask you regarding underwriting.
Mm-hmm. So not just that, lenders too. Lenders are going to ask.
And I mean, you want to raise that, and a lot of the sophisticated people we talk to, they ask those questions. Yep. You want those $200,000 investments and $100,000, people, you got to know what the hell you're talking about. So at this point, I mean, I'll warm up a lot of them, and then I'll just toss them to John. Yeah. Let's set up a meeting. Boom.
Let me close them.
Nice.
Close, and then he'll get into the analytics and fucking dive deeper. But I do a lot of the ice breaking, or we just kind of vibe like that. We kind of bounce off each other, depending on what type of investor we got going on.
Nice.
Awesome, dude.
So is it just y'all two, or y'all have some more direct partners, or like y'all are the lead partners in your company, I'm assuming, right?
So yeah, I mean, we started at the same time. We're right hand to each other. We are the package. Nice. So we've obviously partnered up with other groups to come in, but it's a two. It's like, hey, you want John, you're gonna take Sergio. Yeah. You want me? Mm-hmm. And that's the first thing we say. Hey, if you want me, you're gonna have to take John.
100%.
So that's just kind of how we roll. But locally, we do have a group that we created called MIA, Model Investor Alliance, which is me, Jonathan, Sean Ricehouse, John Usselton, Dr. Tim Usselton, Cassia Ricehouse, which is Sean's wife.
Y'all have an army.
That's the army, and that's the team that we're taking down all these assets here locally. And believe it or not, I mean, we're able to scale as fast as we are because we all play a key role into
100%.
team.
Roles, yeah.
So talk about how you choose your partners. What do you look for in partnerships? I mean, talk about what you look for in your expectations.
Yeah, even it took us 2 years to partner up. Like, we know each other for 2 years. I mean, Sergio, we know each other for 3, right? But we're closing our deals. They were closing their deals and everything, right? So we, all of us are local, so that was easier, right? So we're testing the waters a little bit, because we want to make sure that we have the same mindset, right? Mindset as a, investor first, we are second, right? So whatever it takes to over deliver to the investor, that's the first thing that we look at, right? The investor need to make the money, otherwise they're not gonna go back, right? Because our mindset is like, we don't care, and I told this to Sergio, like, we don't care if we make money the first 5 years in this business, but as soon as these investors, we pay them, they're gonna go back and they're gonna talk to the tias, the uncle, whatever, just to come and invest with us, right? So that's our end game, right? So we wanna make sure that we have people with the same goals, vision, mindset, and everything. So it takes a little bit, and Sergio knows that I'm more about energies. If I feel good about somebody, I say like, man, this is a good person. If I feel that I'm really into energies.
I don't like him. I don't know. I don't like him.
this guy, but
That's one thing I'm getting better at is, because I do care for people, and there's some people that have been on our team that, they just didn't cut it. They're not 10Xers. And go above and beyond, and it's hard for me to let go of them as fast as I should, because some of these people don't have degrees, they're not resourceful to go and find a job quickly, and they're going to struggle. And so I got to get better at that, and I'm getting better. So I give you props to catching that energy quick. I think it's important to catch it quick and adjust and move and let people go. Hire slow, fire fast.
Faster.
Yeah, fire faster. Yeah, there you go.
Faster.
Faster.
Yeah, faster.
Yeah, I mean, and right now we have now that we have more people in the team, where we feel 1,000 times more confident to go and close a deal, right? So we just closed a couple deals in the last 6 months, like over 200 units in those two in the last 6 months, and we were not struggling with that. Probably if it will be just me and Sergio, it will be more challenging, right? But everyone have a different role and responsibilities, and everybody is really good at those roles and responsibilities.
That's
right.
huge.
They were new, they were confident, they were closing deals. So now it's like, hey, let's do this together.
Yeah.
We're killing it, you're killing it. It doesn't make sense to just be competing against each other. Let's grow together, because I want a piece of the watermelon. I don't want the whole grape, right?
Yeah.
So
1% of 100 people's efforts, or 100% of your own. I would rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts.
Yeah.
Because why are we in this business? We were talking about burnout on another session before this, and burnout's real. And when you have a team and everyone's doing their own thing, I mean, you create some freedom in your life. So talk about partners. What do you look for in partners?
We had a lot of, we've had a lot of partnerships go sour, and it gets, I'm typically the one that kind of go and be like, all right, this shit ain't working out. It's gotta, we gotta part our ways or whatever. Sometimes he does it too, but I've done a lot of them. And I'm kind of used to it, because I come from a family-owned and operated business. So I did a lot of the hiring and firing. I'm used to it. I'm the one that comes up to the guy, hey, don't even come Monday. You're not cutting it. And even having to fire family friends that have known my dad before I was even thought of. You know what I'm saying? And I have to tell those guys, hey man, you gotta stop. It's just not working out. So I've always known when to draw that line, and I think the most important thing I look for in partnerships is really it's really the mindset, because we have to align, and I say that because when me and Jonathan first partnered up, I was still drinking. I drank a lot. I partied a lot with a lot of women a lot. I did it all. I'm single. I ain't married. I ain't got a girlfriend. That's what we do. So I even go back and look back. I'm like, holy shit, I was a shitty partner for the first couple months. And, they even called me out. Hey, man, like, you good or what? You fucking were gone for the weekend, gone for a week. And, I'm like, yeah, just, But I had to search deep inside, and I knew what I wanted to be and what I had to be. I got to be a great partner. I got to be reliable. I got to be trusted, right? So, and I've changed, right? I no longer drink alcohol. I don't go out no more. I sleep early.
Congratulations, bro.
Congrats,
That's
man.
awesome.
Big challenge right there.
Yeah, it is, man. Being single too, man, it's hard. Don't get me wrong. I gotta face that demon, you know. Not no more. It's easier now, but that's basically what I look for, because I know how I was able to do 180. So I don't just count everybody out. If anything, I'm the one in the partnership that tells John, "Hey, John, we got to give this person a chance." I'm all about chances. Let's take a chance on this guy. Sometimes he's like, "Nah, man, I don't think he's gonna cut it." I was like, "Nah, dude, I think he's gonna do well." And then boom, they
end up doing well.
Yeah.
And if you're able to do it, if you're able to overcome it, then you have something to prove to them that they can do it. And you believing in them is pushing them to do better.
Leadership, lead by example.
Mm-hmm. Lead by example.
Yeah, 100%.
So I do know that it's possible that when we're vetting out partners, just the mindset's there. Even if I know they're not there yet, I know we can start molding them a little bit into what we got going on. So that's just kind of the side of partnership that I kind of look for. But as you know, in this industry, there's partners of different ages. And I'm just kind of referring to the ones our age, but like there's different people, different ages in this game, and we're partnered up with people that are a little older,
yeah, 100%.
which is fine. And
majority of this industry.
correct.
Yeah.
And
so I was excited to have you guys on here. Yeah. Young hustlers.
We're as young as they come.
There you go.
Shade, bro.
Yeah. So at that age, I mean, it's just really morale. What are the morals?
Got it.
You know, it's not really, because they're obviously serious. They've already lived their lives. This is what they do. So we're vetting people out on the morals, the ethics of where we want to go, how we're going to get there, what's fair and what's not fair is what I look for.
Nice. Cool. So let's talk about your recent acquisition, 133 units in Dallas. You said it was close to a stadium in Arlington, the Cowboys stadium?
Yeah, the AT&T Stadium.
Wow, nice. That's hopefully we get some good players and win the Super Bowl this year.
Yes.
Every year. Yeah, prende la vela.
There, right?
So 133 units. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's I think people doing deals right now in this uncertain economy, really say a lot about someone. I mean, it's challenging to do a deal right now and to raise capital.
Sure.
And so talk about the deal, how much you pay for it, how much you raise, what's the plan, what kind of debt you got, when you plan on getting out, and, who's the lead, just give us a scoop, how you found it.
Yeah, well, I'll start, and this come from, probably our past experiences, but I'm really doing my due diligence before, a deal. And this is coming from, the past times that I lost the money and things like that, right? So I want to make sure that if we close a deal, when I'm speaking with an investor, I can show them how excited I am, that we are purchasing this asset, right? So I'm just going to tell you exactly how I was speaking with people, whenever I was calling them, "Hey, man,
let it out, bro. Get raw.
So yeah, I mean, just basically, we just have these beautiful properties, 133 units in Arlington, and we're really familiar with the market because we just have another 44 units that we're killing it. We can exit right now, but just because we're making good money, want to keep it. So we're really familiar with the area. And then this opportunity just came right now, and the seller is in a really distressed position that he needs to sell right now. He doesn't have any other choice. And not many people are closing deals right now. We're some of the few ones because we closed a deal 6 months ago. And then this guy is even willing to take our offer that is not the highest because he knows that we can close, right? And we're purchasing $100,000 cheaper than he purchased the property 2 years ago.
Wow.
And he already put
3 years ago.
Yeah. So he purchased the asset for $13.1 million. So he put $2 million in CapEx on the property, right? So it was $15 million in, and that guy was bleeding. That guy was bleeding, and then he just have a debt that is coming. He needs to just exit right now, and he was willing to take our offer. That was our third. We weren't third in line, but at the end of the day, he asked the broker, like, "Hey, man, who do you think I can close? Because I don't have time to be wasting." Because he took somebody else's offer in the past, and those guys couldn't close, and now he's really in distress situation. He doesn't believe in anybody else, so he just like, "Hey, bring me somebody that can close."
That can close.
Exactly. Yeah. So this broker, we closed already 4 different properties with.
Nice.
So he knows already who we are. He knows already that we can close, right? So he came and he said like, "Hey guys, I got this opportunity. You look at the deal like 6 months ago, and do you remember that it was $15 million right now? This guy's willing to take it offer at $13 million."
Wow.
and say like, oh wow, let's go. I'm excited, right? So, and then this is a classy property, it needs some work, but guess what? We have a team that is really
we have
confident.
construction
Team.
expert.
Now that's something that we're not scared of, right? So yeah, the numbers are amazing and fantastic. I mean, the area and we're already making $2 million right at day one.
Yeah. How much risk capital did you guys put up?
For risk capital, emergency money at the beginning and everything. Yeah, we went like $160,000 just the beginning.
There you go. Hard.
Yeah, that was hard.
Hard day one.
Yes.
Oh wow.
That was a 50% day one, and then the other 50
after feasibility.
Yeah.
Okay. And they were talking in the conference about buyer friendly terms. That's pretty buyer friendly terms, right? I mean, 50%.
It's normal. Hard. I mean, the sellers they want to make sure you can close what you're not confident that you can go hard in day one.
No, but before when it was hot, it was like all of it's going hard. I don't care what you say.
Yeah, exactly.
And so 13.1, the guy put $2 million in it, and in CapEx, it's renovated.
Yeah.
They sold it for you for 13.
Yes.
So, what was the equity raise on it?
Yeah, we went like at the end like a 6.1 million.
6.1.
Like yes.
Okay, 160 hard, 6.1. How long was the feasibility period on the deal?
So it took us around. So we closed the property in the contract like in December, and we closed. When was that? Like March, beginning of March.
Probably it was May.
So we closed it 30 days ago. So
30 days ago.
Yeah, we're kind of lost in the time.
Yeah,
March, so busy, right?
It's all good.
So we feel like 2 months, 3 months passed, but it was like not long time ago. So 30, let's say like 30 days ago we closed, and like this is crazy, but we feel like we just closed another asset, right? It just feels so normal, right?
Yeah, it's normal. It's good.
Great.
So,
Congratulations.
So I remember my first time. It's like, man, we always have in mind the day that we close, right? Now it's like another property that. Do you remember when we closed? No, I don't.
That's a good problem to have.
I mean, bro, I always go back to my 16 unit I bought like 4 years ago. I mean, that was one of the hardest deals to raise, $180,000, bro. Like, I mean, but that deal launched everything for us. And we always go back to our first deal. So the 6.1 million, was it just people 50K, 100K?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
This was a
40 people,
506B opportunity. So we like that because we're in the game of building community and provide value to people. So the people that invest with us, we have been just providing content, teaching them, like coaching them
2 years,
for the last 2 years, like providing value to them. And then we have people that, it took them like two or 2.5 years to like, hey man, I see you guys killing it. I trust in you. I'm ready to go.
And that's what I tell. That's why, so that wasn't an overnight success, right? I mean, it was 2 years of grinding for people to realize who you guys are. And that's what I tell our team too, is like, whenever you're at a property, post you're there, like, post, be a walking, talking billboard, and tell people what you do, because you never know who's watching, bro. Like, I mean, I get a bunch of views on my stories. I don't know everyone. Some people have money, some people don't, but we've also had people say, hey, I've been watching you for 2 years. I'm ready to invest now. What do you have? And just so happened I was raising for a deal and they put 500K in it. I don't know the guy. He was following. I mean, he didn't even meet me. I mean, it was just, you build that trust with people, especially when you guys are hosting events and stuff. So you raise the capital, and you guys third party the deal? Yeah. Or
we are, as far as a PM.
Yeah.
So what we like to do is So this one,
Okay.
But since we're starting to kind of vertically integrate our PM, we have a vertically integrated property management company.
Nice.
On the smaller deals, on the 63, we officially took over that one. So we're going in house with our PM there. We already got our construction CapEx team going there. So I mean that's under control. This one, same concept. We just try to kind of let the third party stabilize it, get it kind of going, and then we transition into our.
Oh wow!
company.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
The lenders they're gonna come and say, okay, who is gonna manage your asset, right? I mean, we don't have like a lot of years of experience in the property management business, right? So that's one of the things that they are gonna be asking. Okay, who is your property management company? So okay, we have these are our partners, right? So our goal is to. Because it takes us like 4 or 5 months to stabilize the property, and then after month 6, we just take over.
Wow.
Right. So that's kind of our game. And then again, investor first, right? So we want to make sure that we come with somebody with more experience. And then when the property is stabilized, we just can take over and just continue the business plan.
Wow. And what was the CapEx budget on that deal?
So that one was like 1.2.
Oh, wow. Heavy.
Yeah. So 600 was going exterior CapEx and another 600 was going interiors. But you already know that we're not going to go blow all that money.
Yep.
And that's our job. That's our goal as having a vertically integrated, construction company, is to try to cut that expense that cost as low as possible.
Sure.
I mean, so.
Sure. Yeah. And so how do you guys come up with your $1.2 million budget? Because we're in the value add investing business. Cool. There has to be ROI. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that you can do in a building, but your job is not to completely turn it into a Class A product and to renovate everything, right? So how do you guys choose your CapEx budget on this deal?
So I'll break it down and then you continue and explaining it. So we like to be really conservative. We like to even inflate numbers because at the end, we can allocate the money somewhere else, or at the end of the day, those are going to be returns back to investors, right? Yep. So 53 units, they have the potential for renovation, right? So we always consider a 10,000 budget per unit.
Per unit, okay.
Even if we're spending like 50% or 60% of that, even sometimes 40% of that. We'll always go to like a 10K a unit. And then, the roof, they look in a really good condition, but want to make sure that we have some money there just in something
just in case, yeah.
So we allocated $400,000 for that. So I don't think that we're going to be using it. But again, we have it there.
But it's there.
It's there, yeah. And then $200K just for exterior, like landscaping, and then the whole thing. But
nice. Mm-hmm. And so did you guys? We're also on a session prior to this. We were talking about lender required repairs and insurance repairs. Did you guys get a lot of those from the lender?
No, we got the list isn't as hefty as our 63 unit in North Dallas. That list was a motherfucker.
Yeah,
it was a hefty list, and it was very, very
strict. You're on a timeline too.
Yeah, you're on a timeline. You know, sometimes they want them done in 30 days, other 60, some 90. You know how it is. Yeah. This one wasn't too bad. It was your typical. A lot of it is ADA. I mean, we know that. Trip hazards and whatnot, striping, and overhangs on trees. Just something that's just a liability to the asset, and the residents, right? So it wasn't as bad. But just being in the construction industry, a lot of this shit,
it's easy.
It's typical.
It's easy. It's typical.
It's typical. Easy.
Some people don't plan for that though.
They don't.
Yeah,
we do.
And then they hit it. Yeah,
little things.
Yeah. You guys, if you're investing as an LP on deals and you're partnering with operators, you want to make sure you tell them. You ask them about their plan for these lender repairs, because Sandia was talking about your three bosses, right? Your three bosses is your lender, the investors, and what was the third one?
Lender, investor, and insurance.
Insurance, yeah, because there's insurance required repairs too, and so you got to make sure you knock those out quick and you plan for them, right? The railings on staircases, correct. There's a certain width that they need to be. And if not, that can cost a lot of money to go and install a bunch of stuff and weld them on there that you might have not planned for. Mm-hmm. So it's good to be conservative, as you said, to deploy the CapEx.
Even that due diligence. I mean, we're so familiar with that shit. I mean, we look for it.
That's good.
We know. Okay, you know what? Look at all these trip hazards. We already know that we're going to include that in our CapEx. The asset we just bought in Arlington. First thing I noticed were the rails. They were to my fucking knees. I was like.
Yeah, you just fall over. Issue. Yeah,
it's gonna be. We're gonna need to put some money in to weld a higher rail, and because it just takes one drunk guy to fall over,
get sued,
and we get sued, and we're fucked. And then they come out here and, oh well, you know what? Your rails ain't. They're not code. They're not ADA compliant. You got to be so and so, inches high, and you're just like shit.
Yeah.
So that's a big lawsuit. So we go out there. We consider all of that.
Nice.
And as you know, Adrian too. A lot of the insurance, a lot of the lenders list. I mean, all of that just kind of correlates within each other within the CapEx. But
correct.
Either way, but it's those little things you also still got to go out there and find. And I mean, it's just experience.
Correct.
When it comes down to buying these assets.
And when you're doing that due diligence, do you said that you guys do it your own, but do you get a second opinion from a third party?
We get
the whole squad.
Just tell them about the LOI and when we start doing due diligence.
Shit, we.
The next day in the morning, 7 a.m.
Man, we're literally showing up like that. We showed up that week.
Before
we go
PSA, we have already.
PSA, we were already up there, and we take our in-house, construction team. We take the special trades like actual certified electricians, plumbers, just all MEP, right? I know a lot of structural myself because I did structural, so I'm not an engineer, but I'm out there looking for any foundation issues, cracks.
Yeah.
And then we just take all our not only that, but we also take the PMs that we have. They got a whole system that they got in place. But we don't just depend on them. We take our resources too. So we're going real deep.
Correct.
So
That's
rolling
awesome.
deep.
That's great.
Yeah, and you know, one thing we do too on every deal, we learn the hard way is we scope the lines.
Yeah.
We got to scope the lines and see if there's any bellies and see if there's any roots growing in through the pipes.
Yep.
You know, rust in the pipes. I mean, you can tell a lot from a camera underground. It could be expensive too. And you know, where the water flows, how it flows, which clean out. Because I mean, sometimes we buy the deal and the maintenance guys leave, and you know, they don't show us where to, you know, unclog the pipe and you know how the piping system even works. And so not only do I scope the lines, but I create a map of the plumbing lines, because you don't want to just be poking everywhere to try to undo a clog. And especially when you're buying 60s builds, you know, there's plumbing issues that happen. And if you know where to go in, it's super key, and you save a lot of money. And sometimes your in-house team can do it. You know, if you have the map and if you know how it works, instead of hiring a plumber to come in and pay, you know, $5,000-$10,000 to come, you know, unclog that line. And you guys are nodding because it's probably happened before, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So what are some things you've learned, you know, along the way, you know, that you would have never learned in an educational program or, you know, a book or a YouTube video or a podcast? Like, what are some things, you know, we'll start wrapping up here in a bit, but you know, some tips and some things you guys have learned along the way
I mean,
on some of these big deals.
And this is just kind of high level in it, because I mean, we're all fucking minorities in this room.
Yeah.
You know, we're young.
Yeah.
One of the things I learned, and it's really about myself, is that we can do this shit.
Yeah.
We can buy multifamily apartments. I thought you would ask me, Serge, hey, did you ever think you would have been doing this? No. I thought it was a white person's thing.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Mexicans ain't supposed to be buying this.
Yeah.
You know,
We're on the, we were supposed to be on the other side, right?
Yeah.
The workers, the laborers.
the laborers. And I mean, the titled up Mexican guy is not supposed to be buying these assets, you know? So I learned that I can do this. You can do this. Anybody can do this as long as you can put your mind into it. By being a part of the right teams, not having that scarcity mindset, not having that, you know, because we have a lot of greed as the Latinos. We have a lot of greed. We don't want to share profits. We want the whole fucking watermelon, and that's just a bad mindset that we have as in general, right? But just, you know, having a piece of the pie is better than having nothing.
Correct.
So just as long as you have that mindset of, you know, being okay with, you know what, I'm getting a piece of this pie. Well, what's the pie? The pie's a fucking $20 million asset. You know, let's go.
5 little pieces of that 20 million.
Oh, yeah.
It's
All day.
You already have one pie.
And then when you put it on your personal financial statement.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Hey, I saw that smile there, bro.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So
There you
can
go.
do this. I mean, it's just, that's what I learned.
You got to believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Hang around with people
Yeah.
that, you know,
Proximity.
proximity is power. That believe in you as much as you, that believe in you more than you believe in yourself.
Correct.
And, you know, you're the average. You're the average of the 5 motherfuckers you hang out with.
Yeah. You hang around with 5 fat friends.
You're going to be the 5.
Odds are you're going to be the
All day.
6th.
Yeah.
Five broke friends, you're going to be the 6th.
Shout out
You know,
to
small-
210. Shout out to 210.
Small-minded
Appreciate it,
people,
bro.
you know, you're going to be a small-minded person. So,
Yeah, I mean, we're applying this lately for probably the last 6 months, and you know, we decided to, you know, go even more deep into personal development.
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
huge.
with Sergio, and then there are 3 aspects in life that are non-negotiable for us right now. That is the health, you know, money and relationships.
Yeah.
So something
Amen.
that people don't talk about is like about money, right? It's a taboo, but money is important because that's gonna make you feel more confident. You have $1 million in your bank account. I guess you're gonna feel more confident when you enter a room, right?
yeah.
So, but the first thing is, you know, your health, right? So you need to take care of yourself. You need to like eat better. You need to like look good, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, that's going to be making you feel more confident, right? If you feel more confident, that you're going to be able to go and meet more people because, you know, the more,
Andy Elliott.
Oh, yeah.
Andy
Yeah.
Elliott.
You're a more likable
man.
person. And I mean, again, if you have $1 million in your bank, you want to live a longer life. So you want to live a healthier life.
Yeah. What's the whole point of doing all of this? Stressing ourselves out, working all day, every day.
Yeah.
If, you know, we're only going to live to 60 years old, you know, 60, 70 because of heart problems or, you know, I feel also people look like they've aged a lot faster than their real age, you know? And so I think it's important to, health is huge.
Yeah, I mean, and again, just coming back to relationships, because I mean, like Sergio say, I mean, I moved to this country. I any of the investors are people that I met I just met them like 2 or 3 years ago, every single investor. So I don't have anybody before that, right, that invest in our properties. But, I guarantee you guys, the more hands you shake, the more money you're going to be making. Yep. Right. So 100%. now you're going to be making more money yourself, and now you're going to be able to enter like bigger rooms right now. People that have they're making more money. Now, again, you're investing in your health more, that you're going to be like probably hiring a coach for, your physical aspects. Right. So that's everything is a chain that you just keep rolling and rolling. Yep. And then if you take care of those 3 things, man, you're going to kill it in business.
That's awesome. Life. That's awesome. Yeah. And I think too, when you look good, you play good.
Oh yeah.
You look good, you play good, you feel good, you operate good. And I also think, as we're raising money, if we're not, fit or healthy, they're not going to invest with you. Yeah. They're going to think twice.
Yeah, and it's becoming more popular and popular right now.
Yeah.
So we cannot stay behind the game. So we're like, hey, Sergio, man, we need to start looking better than we are right now. So
you guys are doing great, bro.
You're like competing. You're like, you're competing, and I see you out there. There you go.
CrossFit, baby.
It says a lot. Yeah, that's awesome. You wake up early and go out there and put in the work, and then you go back to the computer. To touch on your point too, you got to go out there and shake hands. Relationships. Mm-hmm. A lot of people just think that working behind the computer on the desk, on the computer, doing Zooms or just emailing, that's the form of their relationship building. But you got to go out there. You got to go out there and shake hands, kiss babies, meet them face to face. I mean, you can do so much. You can only do so much behind a computer. People want that physical. We're humans.
Yeah,
we need that physical
going back
interaction.
to older individuals that are here, right? They're older, they're more mature, they know what they want, and they're very old school. So they want to meet you. They want to know that you're an actual person, and they want to have that attraction, like you said, that sense of how to feel you up. Like, okay, this guy's a genuine person, positivity. Yeah, they're vetting you out. So it's very important to get in the right rooms. Don't stay behind the computer. Do the investment to pay for a flight, pay for a hotel, pay for an event. I mean, this was $200 just to be here, and we've met great individuals.
Costs a little more to be in this place.
So, I mean, and the more you pay, I feel, the more you invest in mentorships and events, the more you get out of it. But you got to go in there strategically. Sean talked about it in the network. You got to go in there with a goal in mind. Okay, this is how many people I'm going to meet per day. My goal is to, if you're raising money, this is how much money I'm going to raise by the end of the event. If you're going to get a partner, like, think positively. That way you attract those things.
Yeah. Set your intentions. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, like, you just mentioned a really important point right now about, okay, you get into these rooms that maybe you pay a little bit more money to be surrounded about people that are killing it right now. So those guys are in a different mindset. Those guys are thinking different. If you go there to this room and you're fat, you have tits and things like those guys are not going to be taking you serious, right? Mm-hmm. That they will know right away that you're not a disciplined person.
No.
So you need to stay on top of the game, with yourself, and that's kind of like.
Yeah. Last year I joined the Sumrock Mastermind. I was out of my comfort zone. I mean, it was close to $50,000. And that, I mean, I'd never done anything like that before. Mm-hmm. And, but I knew there was 180 people in the mastermind that also paid close to $50,000. And so those people are probably people that I want to be talking to.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
So, I got my money back within the first 2 months. We closed on a deal. I was able to raise some capital from it. And so I was in the right room at the right time with the right people. But I also feel like I did my own part of networking with people in that room. Some people join these masterminds and expect, someone to go and sit down and hold their hand just because they paid $50,000. It's not true. The money is in the network and the relationships that you build. To your point number 2, it's so important in this business, because it's a team sport, and you want to make sure you're nurturing those relationships. So, thanks guys. We'll wind it down. Let's a book, a piece of advice, a book, a tape, a quote, anything you guys feel that has helped you get to where you are right now, and we'll end the show.
You want to go first?
No, you start first. I'm thinking. I have many quotes right now.
I got a lot of. I mean, just there's a lot of podcasts out there. I mean, and I like to just kind of dabble into everybody's shit, just to kind of put it together and then let it reflect me in a positive way. But I mean, one of the first things I would say is just the book. And I mean, you hear it all the time. If you're watching this podcast, and you've been watching all of us, you've been watching the 210 group, and just if this is something you want to do, you want to start doing this real estate out, the Rich Dad Poor Dad book. You just can't go wrong with it. You know, get educated on how this works. That was one of my flaws, is being uneducated in real estate and how everything works. So I would most definitely start there. Then followed with the cash flow quadrant, you know, Rich Dad Poor Dad book, which is the second one in my opinion that goes in order. That one just really teaches you on what side of the quadrant you're on. Yeah. I didn't know any better. You know, I thought, you know, being a fucking entrepreneur and self-employed was the move, and it really wasn't.
Yeah.
You know, it's the
investor. Yeah, 0% taxes.
Yes,
yeah.
Sir.
And I mean, the whole Rich Dad library too, right? I mean, there's a lot. The ABCs, loopholes. You know, Robert Kiyosaki, Kenny McElroy, Tom Wheelwright. Like, that whole Rich Dad series and library is super. It's huge. I've read some of those books. They have podcasts, free information out there. Mm-hmm. That book is $10-15. Yeah. Go buy it right now. If you're listening, you haven't read it, go buy it. Do yourself a favor. What about yourself, Jonathan?
Yes. Before you guys do something or take action, right? Or like before you do something, right? Just ask yourself, like, is this really, you know, like aligning with the vision I'm having, you know, or the goal I have for myself before you do something, right? So that's something I'm asking every day. Okay, if I'm waking up early, right? Okay, that's good, because let's say I'm waking up late. Oh no, this is not aligned for the person that I want to become, right?
Sure.
So those are something I ask myself every single day, because, you know, my goal right now is to be a person that I'm proud of. That is like, I want to be like this guy in the future, right? So I want to be there, and as soon as I'm there, I want to bring that to the world and then start changing lives.
That's awesome.
That's surprising. It's a great, but I really thought you were going to touch on mindset. I mean, the fact that you overcame so many obstacles, you lost the money, you lost money not once, not twice, 3 times, and you're still here.
Grit.
You know, it's grit for sure, bro.
Yeah, no, I mean, I know that a lot of billionaires and millionaires, they have some of those stories, so I know that it's part of the
journey. It's just natural. It's like,
it's
meant to happen.
So it's like, this happened to them, happened to me. That's a good sign.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's and that's the way you view the way you view it is in a very positive manner. And there's a lot of individuals that, if it happened once, I'm not gonna go through that again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's go.
So you see, they stopped there, but you kept going. So congrats, bro.
There you go.
Awesome, man.
Yeah,
I'm glad y'all are here with us.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I want to be like Marin, waking up at 4:30 every day.
I mean, I don't know, bro.
This guy shoots out of bed at 4:30. I'm like, yo, chill out, bro. I have a couple hours left.
I'm trying to. I mean, hearing different people, I try to squeeze in as much time as I can. But I mean, hearing longevity, you know, health and stuff like that, and
it's important to get your 8 hours, 8 hours.
Try to, but I mean, I
don't be that hero.
Yeah,
I almost slept 4 hours.
And I don't say it. That's why I don't say it, because it's not a healthy thing to do. But it just worked for me. But now I'm probably gonna go home and rethink how I'm gonna structure.
You just gotta go to sleep a little earlier.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Yeah. Like the other day, it's like, hey man, how is that you waking up at 3:30 or 4? And so I asked him, like, what time do you go to sleep? No, I'm going to sleep at 11 or 12. Okay, what are you doing between 9 and 11 or? No, I'm just in my phone. And
yeah, like, just jacking around.
Yeah,
no. Come on, you know, like you do more things between like 3 and 6 in the morning that, you know, between 9 and 11. I promise you, like, you focus those, because sometimes people are like, I don't have time to read. I don't have to work myself. Like, I don't have time to go to the gym, right? Yeah. Just use that time. Wake up early, man. Go to sleep early. I mean,
no one's bothering you.
Yeah.
And it feels amazing when you wake up before the sun.
Yeah.
You're already started your day winning. That's kind of the...
Yeah, and I've always been a morning person. So I feel like waking up at 8, 9 is... I'm already late. Yeah. So that's why I wake up early. And I try to go sleep earlier, but it just doesn't... I'll still want to do something more. But I'll adjust for sure. I mean, if to advance, you got to adjust. So we'll see what happens.
Let's
go. Be aware.
For sure.
One of our goals always with Sergio is like, man, you know, we like to share our story, right? And our goal is always to at least, we always say this, we need to impact at least one person that is hearing this. And so I hope that this is making you wake up.
Oh, yeah.
For sure, bro.
No, more than one person.
I'm excited.
Yeah, more than one person. Mm-hmm. No, thanks you guys for coming on. Let's go back to the conference and learn some more about apartment investing. Y'all, what do y'all think?
Let's go.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you guys for inviting.
Thanks you guys. Yeah, appreciate it.
Keep killing it, bro. Keep killing it.